Ooh, used donuts for my truck. Don't mind if I do. Oh. Hi everyone, welcome back to ThrottleHobby, and in today's episode we got some nice used tires that I'm pretty sure I could use for at least a season or two on my truck, because you know, better save money now than any other time. So if you get a shop, or you have a shop, or you have a buddy who has tires like this and he wants to swap them out because he's got some extra bucks, and then you realize, well, you know what, they're really not that bad and I could probably use them on my truck, then it's a great way to actually save money. Now, like you saw in the intro that I just showed you, these have maybe one or two screws in them that it's still in the safe zone of plugging, because it's anything that's on the outer side of this inwards, and the same thing inwards, so that's savable. So I thought, okay, what better way to save these tires and show you guys how you could actually plug used tires and actually have them hold air so you could use them for as long as they hold out. Now, in our shop, we have two main methods of actually plugging a tire. The first one, I like to just call it a plug and play, which you could get these at 7-Eleven. There's a bunch of these, they're like tar looking plugs with glue in them. I actually found this one that was just sitting on the floor. I'm not going to be actually I'll show you guys how to go about this. I'm not actually going to do it because I don't want to waste a plug. I don't know, this one's probably wasted already, but I'm already going to be doing the second part that I'm going to show you guys how to do. So I'll just go through this really quick. So you get your plug, right? You pull it out of there, and usually it comes with a reamer. And the reamer's got a tiny little hole at the top that'll help you slide the plug out of the tire once you get it in, if it can focus. You're going to put the plug somewhere in the middle. Now, the ones you can get at 7-Eleven come with something called reamer tools, which is something like this, except it's like a giant metal spike. And what you'll do is you'll have to pull this one out. Obviously make sure that the other side it's through. This one is through on the other side. I can feel it right now. So pull that one out, right? You can mark the tire using a piece of chalk. However, you're going to pull that out. You're going to grab the reamer tool, not this, the spike I was telling you about. You're going to ream it a couple times just to make the hole a little bit bigger. That's what she said.
Nice.
And then when you pull that out and the hole's to your liking, you can grab this. I've seen people put actual lube on top of these just to make it go in better. But once you pull this out, you're going to take this and you're going to pull it almost all the way through until you just have two little heads, something like, if my fingers are the tires, something like this sticking out of the tire, and you're going to lob these two nubs off, and it'll make a perfect seal. That's the easiest and the cheapest way that we do it. But if you're more of a kind of person that doesn't want to see a plug coming out, or you want to, you know, you got a new tire, unfortunately you hit a nail, and now you don't want to show off to your friends, oh look, new tires, I have a plug in it. We could do something called an inside patch, and that is what I'm going to be showing you guys today. So with an inside patch, first grab a piece of chalk, paint, marker, whatever. I like to do the triangles. Mark whatever you're going to be fixing, so that way you can check it later. Obviously we won't be able to check it because I don't have a rim, but for show's sake we'll just say so that we can check it later on once we get the whole thing plugged in and good to go. So we have it marked, let's put it over there. So now that we have it over here, what we're gonna have to do is grab it with a pair of dikes, as I like to call, and pull the sucker out. There it is. So that's what was making our hole, and now we have to fix that. All right, so now that we pulled that out, there is our little entrance point, our hole. So what I'm gonna do first is this light sheen that's on the tire, we're gonna have to get rid of that. So all I'm gonna do is grab my whiz wheel, my grinder, whatever you wanna call it, and I'm just gonna go around in here and just take some of the sheen off right after I charge this battery. So, fresh battery. What we're gonna do is take that sheen off, like I said. obviously I'm going to take off a little bit more, but you see how like this side of the tire is very sleek, shiny, and then this side is no more. That's what you want. So I'm going to do that a little bit bigger. Cool, so now that we got a good section of it that's all patched out, what we're going to do is we have to clean some of this stuff off. Now what I like to do is grab a rag, and this is the stuff that you're kind of going to need to have on standby if you're going to do it this way. This is called rubber prep. So it's basically some kind of like a solvent or just like a cleaning where you put it on here, right? Nice and wet. You go apart the part that you grinded. You make it nice and clean. So that way the patch that you put on has a good stick. And so the glue can also mix in. Right? And now you can see all the crap that comes off. Alright. And that is still our hole. Right there. So the next step is you're going to have this cement, for lack of a better word. And this basically just acts like a glue. So what you want to do now is cement the entire part where the hole is. Oh boy. Too much! Too much! Too much. Stuff is like snot. We'll put that off away over here. And what I'm going to do is start in the middle of the hole. And I'm just going to go around and round in a circle like this, spreading the glue and every part of it out. Just like that. I like to start in the center because then that way I know where the hole is. So good. Have that good. Awesome. So now you normally have to wait a couple minutes until that, well, pretty much dries. But I'm going to be fast about this. And now we just watch the fire do the drying for us. It's like a hobo fire. Nice. Awesome. All right, and now we're down to the last two steps. So here's our inside patch plug. It's got a division point in the center, so you could peel it off and stick it on. So that's pretty much what we're going to do right now onto that. So let's get this started. One, and here's the second one. Come off, damn it. Cool. Now that we got the sticky side good, we're just going to go right in the center of this little glue stain. So we know that our hole is covered and the patch is on. Cool. Now we just got one more step. So the last step you guys want to do on terms of this is there's going to be a couple little air pockets and you want to make sure that's good seal. So I grabbed a small pizza roller and I start on the edges and I just kind of work my way in like this just to get all the air out. So I like to go vertically and horizontally just a couple times just to make sure I got all that air out. I like to call this the pizza prep, or a lot of people, I'm assuming, think when you're able to do an inside patch, because it is a little bit more money, is the rich man's plug. Just like that. And you're good to go. Now some people like to pull off this, I don't know what this is. I guess this just means that all the air bubbles are out, but there's this filament up top here that some people like to pull off, some people like to leave it on. For the sake of everything, we'll just leave it on. And just a little quick side note, because I've had people actually ask me this. If you have an existing plug that starts leaking, or you just don't like it, you just kind of patched up for whatever, and you want to do the inside patch, you can remove these plugs from the inside and just do the exact same thing I did with that nail, just the plug. Just like I said, mark it first so you know where the hole is. And that's it. And that's how we plug a tire from the inside. So now, when we go back to our spot that we marked, there's no plug in the hole, and if it's a new tire, no one's really going to notice. So those are the two kind of plug patches we do. And I really do like this one. It does take a little bit more work, but if you got new tires and you don't want to have a giant plug sticking out, I'd say this is the way to do it. Yeah, you're going to spend some more money, but hey, at that point it's looks over cash. So all right, so that pretty much concludes today's video. I just wanted to show you guys that in case you ever wanted to just normally plug, like I showed in the beginning, a tire where you could get a kit at 7-Eleven because you have a nail or something in it. And it's also just good to have that first kit that we were talking about in your car because you never know when it's going to happen. And this is the one that you do when you have a little bit more money and you like style over everything else. So that's about it. Cool. So this is Seabass. Thanks for watching Throttle Hobby. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.